just go to the next level.
Yeah.
And so, I thought about, okay, what are the factors in play here? Okay, could I take more drugs? I mean, yeah, I probably could, but
Hmm.
I don't really want to do that. I don't want to play the more is better game of drugs.
Yeah.
Could I train harder? Well, man, I was killing myself. I mean, brutalizing myself. So is that the answer? Probably not. So anyways, long story short, I figured, you know what? I have to be able to train more often each body part and create more stimuluses. I think that's the answer, if there is an answer. Maybe there's no answer, but if there is one, that's probably it. So
Yeah.
I was working with a company, and we were using cluster dextrin, branch cyclic dextrin as a carb source, and we were using a very, very absorbable protein, hydrolyzed casein at the time, and we were playing around with these formulas, and we got to the point where I could train pretty much as hard as I wanted and never get sore again.
Man.
So it allowed me to double my training. Everything I started training everything twice a week, and it was nice because I was just never sore. And that following year in 2000, so 2012 rolled around, and here I was turning 40 years old, and I all of a sudden out of the blue put on 8-9 pounds of stage weight, and everybody was like, "Holy cow, where'd that come from?"
Hmm.
So I explained this to people. I'm like, and they're like, "Oh no, you had to discover some miracle drug, or you did
Yeah.
this or that." Yeah, everybody wants the easy way, right?
Oh, it's always a drug.
It's always the drugs. Um, so anyways, I would this experiment, and this was my first real success I had found with recovery, and I became totally enamored by the products. And the problem was the cost. So I tried starting then up until now. I'm still trying to find a cheaper carbohydrate source that does the same thing with recovery, and I to this day haven't found one.
Yeah.
And there's something special about cluster dextrin. It's the way that they make it. Just picture all these molecules with these side chains hanging off of them, and what they do is they break down at a certain pace, and you get a little bit of an insulin lift, but you don't get a real spike. And I like that.
Yeah.
I never was a big fan of a huge spike while you train, and then what
You
happens?
crash.
You crash.
Yep.
Exactly. I would rather to control muscle protein breakdown. Insulin is very, very powerful with controlling muscle protein breakdown. So
Hmm.
I wanted a steady level of insulin, and this great source is the only one I found. And I'm not here to bash other companies or other ingredients. I'm not here to do
Yeah.
that. I'll just say that this was the one ingredient that I found that could do this, that could pull this off for me. And so then, go down the road a few years, and I joined with a company, another company, and I put a product together that was similar. I switched out the casein hydrolysate with essential amino acids because I think just the essential aminos do just as good of a job. And you didn't require quite so much water to drink, so you didn't feel like you were super bloated during your workout.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was kind of my next evolution of the product. And now we have Recovery Factor, um, which I'm finding is pretty neat because I think I've added in some ingredients that now we don't need the 2 and 3 scoops and 4 scoops like we did with the other ingredients. The other products were fantastic.
Yeah.
They were really good. I mean, well, as long as the manufacturers were putting in them what they said they were putting in
Yeah.
them, they were good.
Right.
But so the Recovery Factor now has essential aminos, and it has a cluster dextrin, and I even added in palatinose, which is kind of a simple carb version of cluster dextrin. I put in the palatinose at a very small dose, but it also doesn't create an insulin spike. If you look it up, you'll see that it doesn't really have a huge impact on insulin. So I had kind of a combination carbohydrate. It's 20 grams in a serving of cluster dextrin and five of isomaltose.